You might be living under a rock. Say nothing and say something at the same time, would ya? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today, as I am filming this, it is my first snow day in 4 years, and I thought it'd be fun to go over the 26 books I want to read in 2026. So grab a drink, get comfy, get cozy, and let's talk about books. To start off, I thought we could go over the new releases that are coming out this year that have made it onto my 26 of 2026. And the first book is going to be Champagne Problems by Hannah Grace. Now, there's not too much out about this book. There hasn't been much said other than an F1 romance. So before her Maple Hill series was hockey, and now we're moving into F1. And I haven't read an F1 book in a really long time since, what is that series called? It's Lauren Asher's Dirty Air series. That's what it's called. That was the last time I read a F1 series, and I really loved it. And I love Hannah Grace's writing, so I'm really excited to read that one. Next is Daemonica, which is the third book in the Wicked Game series by Kaylee Smith. The first two books are Phantasma and Enchantra. The one thing that we do know about it is that it's taking place in a demon institution in hell. So sign me up. I've loved all of her books thus far that I've read in this series. Phantasma is one of my favorite reads ever, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. The next new release is going to be The Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune, and this, I believe, is taking place in BC. I read One Golden Summer by her this summer. It has left such a big mark on me, and it is one of my favorite books coming out of 2025. From what I've read about it, she's left at the altar, and her friend comes back and kind of tries to make her feel better, and they kind of rekindle that friendship. Now, the one thing about this is that friends to lovers is a very, very iffy trope for me. It has to be done a very certain way for me to really like it, but I'm being optimistic. I'm very, very excited about this book because of how much I loved One Golden Summer. So we're going to be positive about it. Next on my list of new releases is The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. She writes contemporary romance with elements of magical realism in it. And I read my first book of hers last year, and I really, really, really loved it. So naturally, I added her newest release to my TBR. And this one is about a woman. She finds this door, and it opens to this secret garden, and there's a man trapped inside. All I need to hear, really. It sounds fantastic. I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's going to be the perfect summer read. Next is going to be Chasing the Fire by Paisley Hope. This is the final book in the Silver Pine series. I love that series so much. I read the first 4 books all last year. 3 out of the 4 were complete hits for me. I loved them so much. That series is just so warm and cozy, and I'm really sad that it's ending, but I'm just so excited to see how it ends. The MMC in this book is a fire chief, and then it is also accidental pregnancy. So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. Okay, next is Game On by Nevessa Allen. This is the third and final book of the Lights Out trilogy. I don't know if it's called the Lights Out trilogy. I forget what it's called, but first book is Lights Out, Caught Up, and now Game On. Looking like it's going to be Dislike or Rivals to Lovers in some way, as well as Fake Dating. And I haven't read a Fake Dating in a long time, and I really, really love Nevessa's writing. I especially love the audiobooks for the series. I've listened to the first 2 on Audible. I will definitely be doing that again. They're just perfect. She brings like a comedic factor to dark romance, but it's just so enjoyable, and I really recommend them if you haven't listened to them. I believe this book comes out in mid-March. I could be wrong though. And last but not least, for the new releases coming out in 2026 is Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. And this is a professional bull rider with a location consultant on the set of a reality TV show, like dating show series. And I have not read a single thing like that. And it's Elsie Silver. Obviously, I'm going to read it. There isn't really much else I have to say on that front, other than I'm really excited about these new releases. So this is shaping out to be quite a heavy fantasy year for me, so I thought we could start off with the romances. And the first one is going to be In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. This is a small town. She's a chef that just graduated from culinary school in New York, and he runs a farm back in their hometown. She's looking for a job. He's been in love with her for a decade. He builds her an entire restaurant so that she can come home and have somewhere to work. This is the last book in the When in Rome series. I read Beg, Borrow, Steal. That was one of my favorite books of 2025. Next, Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. This is a hockey romance. Honestly, if you're watching this and you haven't heard of Heated Rivalry, you might be living under a rock. Honestly, they've taken over the internet, and I'm so excited to read this and then watch the show. I like to go into books blind, so if I have very limited details, that's why. They're on rival hockey teams at the moment, and they kind of have this rivalry to the press, but then behind closed doors, they kind of have a very strong like physical connection that I think builds into a more emotional one. It's going to be so good. I just know it's going to be so good. And then also the third book in their story was actually just released not a couple days ago, I believe. So I'll have to wait for that one, but really excited about this one. The next book is Mile High in the Windy City series. Hot take, everybody's been crapping on these covers. I really like them. Don't get me wrong, I like the airplane ones too, or like the skyline ones rather, but I really like them. I'm a big fan of when covers have Easter eggs on them. This one is a pro hockey player and I believe she's the flight attendant. So I'm really excited to finally read this series. The series is almost done being fully republished in these covers, and I've been slowly collecting them. So I might be using them as palette cleansers between my bigger fantasy novels that I plan on reading this year. I've heard such good things about this series, and I'm really excited to start it. The last romance one, I believe, that I have on this list is Slapshot by Chelsea Curto. I read Face Off and Power Play last year. Face Off was one of my favorite reads of the entire year. It was so good. And this is just me continuing the series. I believe there's 2 more books coming out in this series. I think they're both slated to come out this year, but I could be wrong. So this one is the 3rd book in the DC Stars series, and this is about Hudson, who's a pro hockey player who hires Madeline as his private chef, and her daughter go to live with him. On to the fantasy books that I want to read this year. I read Blood of Hercules and Bonds of Hercules by Jasmine Mast last year, and those were some of my favorite reads of the entire year. They are so funny. If you take anything from this video, and this video isn't even about them, please pick those books up. They are so funny. They're incredible. They are so good. I will forever read what Jasmine Mast writes. And saying all of that, Psycho Shifters, I believe it came out before Blood of Hercules, but it's being traditionally republished. It's about they kind of have like, say nothing and say something at the same time, would ya? This is about a society that has a hierarchy of alphas, betas, and omegas, and she was thought to be someone who couldn't shift, but turns out she's actually the first female alpha, and so she gets taken and dropped off at this almost like war college sort of setting where she's being trained by 3 other alphas to defend their shifter realm from the Fae. So it's why choose. In the first one, it's kind of enemies to lovers, definitely dislike to lovers. Each of the different men kind of have their own personalities, and I'm really excited to read it. The second one just came out, so I'll have to wait a little for the rest of them, but I just know I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be so good. And this one is also on my January TBR, so I will 100% be reading it this month. Next on my list is Guild by Raven Kennedy. This one is a King Midas retelling. King Midas being the king that can turn whatever he touches to gold. In this instance, he's turned our FMC into gold. That's kind of all I really know about it. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm excited to start it. Next one on my list is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the final book in the Powerless trilogy. This is one of my favorite romantasy series. It's YA, it's trials, it's Oh my god, it's so good. This came out last year. The fact that I haven't read it is kind of criminal for me, but I really don't want it to end. I really want to read it though. It's so good. Kai and Peyton are literally, they're just fantastic, and I'm really excited to read it. And then this book is one that's kind of been catching my eye whenever I went to the bookstore, and it kind of blew up on TikTok a little bit because of Yana. Put Yana on the screen. I love Yana. I take a lot of book recommendations from her, and that is The Tessard Heir. This one, I believe, is an Egyptian style romantasy. It says, an unmistakable tale of shattered kingdoms, forbidden magic, and cunning royals unfolds in this Egyptian-inspired epic fantasy debut. I'm not gonna read too much more because I like going in blind, but you kind of get the gist of it. I heard really good things and I'm really excited about it. Take a shot every time I say I'm excited about something. Please do it. Maybe not, actually. It would be bad for your health. This is another one that I saw was popping up on TikTok and in the romantasy realm, and that is Direbound by Sable Sorensen. I don't know I don't know too much about it, but I haven't read a book that solely had wolves in it before, so that'll be something different, and I'm really trying to kind of branch out and try a lot of new things, and I've heard really good things about it, and I want to read it. From what I know, the FMC's sister gets kidnapped and she enlists herself in the army. They have bonding trials that they have to go through to, I believe, bond themselves to a dire wolf. So that'll be ready for it. Super exciting to read. I'm really excited to read it. I think it'll be really fun. It's another like war school academy setting similar to Psycho Shifters, so that'll be fun. Next on my list is Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This book has piqued my interest for a long time. Actually, I think it's been a couple years now that this has been floating in and out of my priority TBR, but it got traditionally published in bookstores, and I love supporting authors, obviously. She's big. Look, also she's got, look at that sprayed edge. And this is a professor student. It's like a gothic, dark, it's supposed to be kind of like a really eerie book. Her mother died to a mysterious illness, and she's gone to this academy to find the antidote to it. And in that, she's working with this professor. And I love a little bit of a forbidden romance, and this has been really highly talked about, and I'm really excited to read it. Now this book, to be quite honest, might be the most beautiful book that I have ever seen, and that is Hollow by the Twisted Sisters, Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. Just a moment. Look, it's so beautiful. And then the edges. This is another sort of competition where she becomes reluctant allies with another person who's competing. The book just really sold me. I've read a lot from these authors before. I'm about halfway through the Zodiac Academy series, and I really love them. I've heard that I can go into this without having finished Zodiac Academy, so I'm really excited about that. Next on my list is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. Sorry, correct me if I said that wrong. So this one is about a dragon rider. The very last dragon rider gets enlisted to a vampire school, and she, by some consequence of some, I think, spell, she gets betrothed to a vampire. So it's another like college setting, and I haven't read anything by this author. Also, I've heard really good things about it, and really cool edges as well, and I'm really excited to read it. Next, we have The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This one is about, I believe, a princess who's set up in an arranged marriage to bring peace between her people and another kingdom. From what I've heard, there's a lot of political intrigue as well as romance, and I've heard nothing but good things, and this edition is just so beautiful. The sprayed edges are just stunning. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this one. Next book on my list is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. This is a Greek mythology story. In this book, each god picks a mortal to compete for them in trials to determine who will be the king of the gods for that upcoming year. And in this sense, the main girl, Lyra, is picked by Hades, and he kind of has like a secret agenda going on, like his own reasons for entering the trials, which he hasn't entered in, I think the entirety of how long it's been running. This book's been on my TBR for a long time, and I'm finally ready to pick it up now. It's also on my January TBR, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Notice how I didn't say excited. Next, The Stars Are Dying. I believe she either joins or she's forced to participate in these trials in order to save herself from the vampires. Looks like she meets someone who's going to help her do that. And this was another book that, to be honest, the cover really sold me, because this is the naked hardback. At the moment, there's 3 books out, and I'm really excited to get to this one. Now, the next book on my list is The Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. Vasily Moran was once a dancer in King Ilian's court until he framed her for murder. Barely surviving her 2 years in the dungeon, she's suddenly called to face her king. He offers her a deal: become his spy at the 6-week royal gathering, and he'll grant her freedom. In doing that, she kind of discovers a lot of lies about her own kingdom, and the premise just sounds really cool. The fact that she's a dancer really stood out to me. The cover is beautiful. I'm really excited to read it. Next on the list is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. So it's an assassin and a healer have to work together to find the cure to a sickness that is plaguing both of their lands. I believe he himself is actually sick with it. I just think it's really cool. I think it's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Hopefully I'll be getting to it soon. I have another very anticipated release that came out last year, but when this came out, I was in a reading slump. But that is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the 3rd book in the Empyrean series after Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I'm not going to tell you much about it. It's dragons, it's War College, it's dragon riders. I really recommend it. I will be getting to this at some point. I don't know when, but I will be reading it this year. Making this video is me holding myself accountable. I will be reading this book. My last book on my 26th of 2026, last but not least, is the Book of Azrael. This book has kind of once again been floating in and out of my TBR. I've had my eyes on it for a while. When I saw this cover and the sprayed edge, I'm obviously very influenced by sprayed edges like this, but this is I believe it's a urban fantasy. From the looks of it, she has to retrieve a artifact for her boss from the very person who's been hunting her whole life. And with that is my 26th of 2026. Let me know what you think. I have some really exciting books that I'm going to be reading this year. I'm sure there's going to be others that pop up as well as new releases. If you guys want to comment and let me know what books are on your TBR this year, please feel free to like, comment, and follow me for more. I'll be doing more book stuff coming up. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, weekend, night, whatever time it is for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And with that, happy reading!